Having a little bit difficulty. Was having a little bit difficulty focusing and adjusting. I guess I need to start taking care of the cameras a little bit better instead of having them scrape all over the place. So let me place this one here. Make sure it's on there good and strong. Yeah. Okay. And as much as I hate to do the mirror, I'm just going to go ahead and do the mirror. And so I'm trying out a few things here. Okay, I guess I'll monitor on this one. No, that one I usually use for my, what you call it. So I'll monitor on this one. And I'll plug it in. So what have you been doing all day? I'll tell you what, there's something I'd rather be doing. I'd rather be doing something, but the way society is, it's a big, big problem. It's a big, big problem. Yep. Okay, so we got some. This thing needs to be thrown away. Look at where the hell is my turn this on for meanwhile. Okay. Yeah, I've been watching this one teacher, but something seems a little bit suspect about it. I think it might be it might be a trick. I mean, more than likely it is. Okay, so let me see here. I mean, it might be, might not. Okay. View channel. Yeah, I was gonna drop this off. I'm returning that battery. Now this one is not holding on very good. This one is not making a good contact here. So actually the new holder I have is better than this one. So shout out to China, and I'm going to go get me my new things. Okay. But yeah, this one is not holding up there good at all. So what I'm going to have to do is use the other phone. So just bear with me one sec. And then we'll get on down the road. I'm looking for my... Oh shit, what am I doing? Key Sweat. Hello, person who came into the comments. How are you doing? I'm just checking in real quick. Trying to do some stuff here. Trying to monitor my own channel because I'm out here and the signal's not good out here. It was windy all day long, and so now when the sun goes down, the wind stops. It does it all the time. And I mean, if it's ever windy, this is how it does it. When the sun goes down, then it stops being windy. And so almost okay. So I can put this on here. No problem. That one holds perfect. Thank you for the emojis. And so just one more thing I got to do here. Thank you for the emojis. Romiano cheese. Yeah, there's a couple people. Okay, so, well, show detail module. Oh, no. I finally got my printer to print. You know, my desktop computer is completely shut down. So I guess that's because AI just took over. I mean, it just obliterated the old technology. And thank goodness. But the computers are $400, $500 to get one of these new computers. Where is my... So, even if I get it on credit, that would still be too much. I can't believe. I don't have no damn hat. Unless it fell down in the back. Just a minute. This car is so much better. I mean, it's a different brand, but it's a newer model. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is 7 years newer. But it's from Japan too. But it just the design so much better. There's so much features on it. Nope, no freaking. Oh. Except that I don't really like how that thing shuts back there. It's kind of probably needs shocks, no doubt. Here's my hat right up here. But if I wear my hat, then the phone is going to fall all over the place. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, my underwear. I bought these underwear, but I didn't know they were these kind. Right? So I just use them to wash the window. And I need to go wash this window. So I'll put these up here. I'll put those up there. Oh, they're all slippery. So that the foam won't fall off. Okay. So I need to wash the window. Is this thing zoomed in? I'm going to need to wash the window. And the signal out here is horrible. I know. Let me get going. But I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this GPS. So I'll talk to you about that in a little while. First, let's just get going here. Let that thing charge up. And I got me something new, right? On the way. So, did I order that battery? No, I didn't. So I'm charging up this battery, see how long it lasts. And let me plug this one in. This phone here needs a new USB socket receptacle because it burned. Not this last summer, but the summer before. The receptacle burned. Why? I don't know, but it smoked, and so the thing falls out of it. This one doesn't really need to be plugged in, so I'm not going to plug that one in. I'm going to plug this one in instead. This one I monitor with. And so let's go. So I got 1, 2, 3. Where's my other phone? it's up there. I always got to remember that. It'd be a lot easier if if I had if the phone was red. I think I used to have a red phone. No, it was just a red computer till I spilt beer all over it. Okay, so let's turn this thing on. And let's get on down the road because I know the signal's really horrible right here. I see you in the comments. Thanks for leaving comments. What I don't understand is why you have to leave, you know, 4 comments. That looks like a troll doing that. I don't know why you do that. And if you were, I mean, it'd be better if you put emojis in there. The big emojis, not the little small ones. So I was almost about to mow the yard in the wind, but I didn't. Just not feeling very motivated. The rebate, I was waiting for the rebate, and it's almost going to be a month. I haven't checked exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's real close to almost being a month, and they're supposed to take 30 days. But they sent me a email, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and they said the picture you sent of your a certain document, you didn't send it right, or some kind of bull crap like this. So I had to resend it again. So I'm waiting to see what they say. But yeah, I'm really jonesing for money, and I mean, I wish I had some money I wish I had some dry powder to load up because on investments, because everybody else is, right? Not everybody, but the people with money are loading up. The the losers are all chickening out. And so I think one dude, he just bought 1,000 BTC right now today. Yeah, I wish I had some funds to invest, because what's his name? Um, Bitcoin King. These are us. That's uncomfortable. Bitcoin King, he just bought another 1,000 Bitcoin. So I guess that's like, and what's a BlackRock bought another. I think they bought like 400,000. I mean 400 million. Right? Remember just the other day they bought like 100 or 200 million. And so, it'd be nice right now to load up, but I don't have no dry powder. Powder, amigos. And so, I guess this car, the tires weren't very good on it, but I did put a lot of air pressure in the tire. I had like, I think 48 pounds of air pressure, and they're only supposed to take 36. So that's like 12 pounds more than what it should be. And I got the spare tire finally, but I haven't even taken it out of the box or tried it, which I need to, because these clowns are always doing something funky, right? And I don't want to find out, when I need it. So when there's a nice day, pleasant day, like I still got one more hoop to jump through, one more hurdle to jump through. Those are nice dogs. German Shepherd, I guess. Yeah, that's right. I used to have these postage stamps, and one of them was that kind of dog. I don't know what they're called. They look like a German Shepherd, but they're brown and they have a black face. Looks like a certain kind of German Shepherd. But yeah, it was on one of the postage stamps. And so we're making our way like a good old boy. Someday the posse might catch him, but the law never will. Making his way. So this window is very, very dirty. And as far as I know, the quarter machine at the whatchamacallit, I think these people are Arabian right here. Hey, get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Forgot what I was talking. Yeah, so I have this package um, that I have to take to UPS because the return postage on it is free if I do it this way. But I finally got my printer to print off of the cell phone. Oh, there's some people over here. Look, there's a whole bunch of people. What are they doing? I've never seen those people there before. And they're white people. That's weird. But yeah, I finally got the printer to work off of the telephone. So I printed up a few documents. One document I printed out like, I think 60 sheets. I could print it out twice, I think. And so that was kind of annoying and aggravating. But yeah, I finally got that thing to print out. So I printed out some important documents, and I was able to print out this shipping label because the desktop computers don't work no more because the my desktop computer is Windows 10, so the new Windows is Windows 11 HS, and that's um, artificial intelligence. So basically, the computer that's in your phone is now on the laptops, and that's good. That's good, but
In 1.5 miles, turn right on South Sutter Avenue.
because I just barely bought that laptop, and I forgot how much it cost. I forgot how much money it cost. It had to be the cheapest one because I always buy the cheapest one, except for my when I was running my business, making those controversial items. Then I was buying everything expensive. I bought really expensive Samsung computer. It was really super nice. But anywho, so we're out here at the mailboxes, and let me just run out here. No more living in the past. Remember the cables I ordered? Oh, I got them. They just got here right now. Can you believe? I can't believe this. I better not show this because if people see it, then they'll come over here and start stealing. Yep. So we're out here at the mailbox, and the signal seems to be okay. There's 3 people in here, and this is really strange. This is really strange. I've had this idea. Okay. So let's see what this is. So if you've been surfing the internet, you can see that there's nothing going on, right? Um, the most startling thing I saw was, well, there's 2 things that I saw. One is I need some what can we call it? One is um, I don't know what the hell this shit is Willie D showed Orange Man, and Orange Man was toe up from the flow up, and it looked terrible. I don't know if you've seen it, but he looked terrible. I mean, just terrible. He looked all tore up, and it's on Willie D, the one he showed today. These plums, where are they getting peaches from this time of year? Do they come from Mexico? Where do they get all these fruit from? The nectarines. Yeah, nectarines and peaches. Where's that stuff coming from? Chile? I don't know. But I know one thing though. I saw a beet salad today, and it looked very good. I mean, I actually was craving some beets, and I haven't been able to find the beet juice. If you believe that there are devils, there are devils. And I'm starting to think that they are in where? They're in somewhere. They're in a certain industry I was thinking about. Oh, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's just somebody being stupid, because there are a lot of weirdos who don't have nothing better to do. But yeah, check this out. That's hella nice, huh? That's a nice packaging. You can get that for Christmas. Wow. Where did these come from? China? Let's take a look. I don't know. It doesn't say on the box. Here we go. Yeah, comes from China. Pretty neat, huh? It's like buying firecrackers. Have you ever had if you're from California, if you're from other states where they have firecrackers, then it's not a big deal to you. But if you're like from California where they don't have firecrackers, um, have you ever bought lady fingers? Lady fingers were like you could get 1,000 of them for 25 cents. And boy, they put some real difficult um, tape on here. Yeah, you'd get Black Cats, Thunder Bomb, and Black Cats, Thunder Bomb, and what was the other one? I used to like the real cheap ones. The real cheap ones were real cool. Um, there's Thunder Bomb, Black Cat, and Red Devil. I think it was Red Devil. And there's one that starts with a P, I think, something. And so I got my cables. And they look pretty nice. And they have the L on there, so I'll be able to plug these in a lot better. And I'll plug those in a little while. So those are very nice. Fast shipping, excellent quality, super low price. Not super low price, but a decent price, $4 a piece. I mean, I'd have liked to get them cheaper, but how can you make this stuff, right? I mean, you got to have a little bit of decency. At least pay them what it's worth, right? But oh, I just found my flashlight. So you do something good and you find something else that's good. So um I read a story. I don't know how true it is, but they have these chickens, and there was I think 2 million chickens, and these people are being sued for horrendous acts of what they done to these chickens. And well, I'll tell you something. When you sue somebody or take them to court, I think they're being sued. But when you sue a corporation, nobody is held accountable because the corporation is considered an entity. So nobody goes to jail if a corporation does something wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what I've heard. And so I think that you know how there's this thing going on with the eggs, right? Everybody's finding out that you got to be a total moron and a worthless piece of crap or just afflicted with selfish pigism. Um, if you do not buy the cage-free eggs or even better, pasture-raised eggs. So I guess these people are all pissed off because they were just loving it. They were just loving it, treating these birds like hell on earth. And now people are finding out what they've been doing. So I think they did this on purpose to 2 million chickens in Iowa, Minnesota, Minneapolis. No, Minnesota is the name of the state, right? Yeah. Iowa, Minnesota, and someplace else. I don't remember where. I think they did it on purpose. They're devils. They are in that industry. They get off on it. They get off on this low frequency of this stuff. These Lucifers and devils, they are real. They're here. And so, anyway, the two things that I saw on the internet is one, I saw Orange Man, and he looked all toe up from the flow up. I don't know what the context was. It was just one little scene clip that Willie D put up just a little while ago. And so yeah, I don't know what all that's about, but he looked all tore up. I mean, really tore up. And so I might pull it up a little bit later so that you'll understand what I'm saying. But yeah, so I saw that. So I'm wondering what the hell's going on, right?
3.25 miles. Turn left on California 269.
And so that's one thing I saw. Otherwise, I didn't see anything. I didn't see any, anything worthwhile. And so there was that. And then also there is this new person. This professor, okay? And then that other channel that I told you about, I saw her, and it's suspect, okay? It's suspect. And so I don't know why I don't know if it's spiritual or what is going on, but it sure seems like people are scrambling, trying to block information, and for whatever reason, whatever powers are letting the information get out there, like I said this morning, I think it has something to do with the collective conscious and what we're doing in the collective conscious, because we're all connected together through the ether, through apparently it's called the Schumann frequency. It's the vibration of Mother Earth. Mother Earth is vibrating at 7.83 cycles per second. So this is like a radio frequency. And this is how radio works. This connects things together through the air, through the ether. And so it makes perfect sense. Why would it not be?
In 3/4 of a mile, turn left on California 269.
If 200 years ago you would tell some people that you were going to send a message through the air in invisible form, and that 10 miles away that message would come through in a little box, they would think you are freaking nuts. This was before radio was invented. Okay? And so
turn left on California 269.
That's why I'm saying I'll turn that down a little while. I'm just charging up the battery. That's why I say that this might be society, because it's not just one. This is so difficult to try and turn that thing without hitting the mute button. It's not just it's not just one country is bad and the other country is good. I know I said this morning, okay? But I have to say it again because I'm going to say something else. It's not just one country is bad and the other country is good, you know. United States or Israel against Iran. But that there is good and bad in each country. And without going into the full discussion like I did this morning, I think by extension, we are the same way, because you're trying to figure out who is good and who is evil so that you can get rid of the evil, right? We want to get rid of the bad guy. And so not only is this country filled with good and evil people, the evil people being behind the scenes, the puppet masters, right? But each one of us also has evil and good, apparently. And so it seems to me like this conflict that's going on in the self is being, what's going on in the mind is being reflected by not only oneself, but by the collective conscious. And it's being materialized. Faith. And so I think what's going on right now is the same thing that went on in 1942 or 1941 Nazi Germany. This is how the people are behaving. And, like, we are the champions of the world kind of stuff. And till the USA went over there and bombed their ass. Okay? Basically, they were asking for it. Right? This is the same thing that's going on right now. It's like they want the big one to drop. Does it not seem that way to you? Because right now everybody's attitude is, I don't give a shit. They ain't gonna do nothing. Right? There's nothing gonna happen. Like arrogant. They think that we have all military might. And according to a new person who I don't know his history, but according to a new professor who's on YouTube, that's not the case. And he's saying, I said this morning, I'm going to say it again. He's a very popular professor. He's international. And he's basically saying, in a nutshell, he's basically saying Iran in this war, and he's been saying that they were going to war last year, if you look back through his videos. And so basically he predicted this. But now you have other people showing his videos, and they're trying to spin this thing like, yes, he predicted it. He predicted it. But it didn't happen exactly when he said, right? They're trying to get the people to think this guy is some kind of Nostradamus or something. They're completely just being full of shit. Who cares about that crap? He was saying they're going to war, and now they're at war. He was saying this last year. And but they're trying to get it mixed up like he's a prophet. They're completely spinning it like they always do to confuse the people. But if he's a real person, if he's not a secret intelligence plant, they do it all the time. But if he is legit, then um you know, like I told you, things are moving so fast now. Usually I wouldn't comment on anyone. I wouldn't comment on anyone unless I've followed them for about 5 years, so that they don't do a bait and switch, because everyone can be bought out. The Judas effect. And this place, Iran, has got to be loaded with them, because this is where Judas came from, right? His bloodline is still there, as well as here, and is particularly dominant in some racial ethnicities more than others from what I can see, from what I gather. But maybe there could be this group of people, this ethnicity that they do not appear to be dominant in. It could be because that racial ethnicity is deep, deep into Satanism and they're hidden. That's the only other way I could think of it. But this professor, in a nutshell, you can listen to him yourself. I'm not saying it. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm telling you what he said. I just barely found out about this guy. He's a professor and he's teaching this in college, university. Okay? I haven't seen the students in there. You can hear some students. I don't know what's going on with that, but he's up teaching on a whatchamacallit. But this is a little bit suspect also because he's not showing the students. This is a little bit suspect. And but what he's saying, what he is professing in that college class is that in this war, Iran is going to kick the United States of America's ass. And he explains it because they have the passion and they have all this other stuff. And basically, the United States just bitch slapped them and humiliated their whole nation down to the foundation of its very being. Totally humiliated them in front of the whole world. This is a very stupid thing to do. And so that's why I say it's like the collective humanity, they want them to drop the big one. Is that what people want? And so anyway, yeah, the name of his channel, there's a few channels, but Predictive History, if you want to see the professor himself. Okay? I just learned about him um, 2 days ago. I haven't even had a chance. I was just so astounded from the information, getting this information, how they can actually bring the United States to their knees. Um, this is his theory. So, coming from a professor, it holds some type of merit. Like I said, I don't know if he's a government plant or I don't know what the deal is with him. This is just what he is saying. Listen to it and make your own, use your own critical thinking skills. Because um, this person is also clarifying the theories put forth by David Icke. And now I'm starting to see that what David Icke has been saying is real. Because this professor is clarifying it. The theories, not the theories, but the rituals and why they do them. This person is explaining it. It is a science. for controlling the mind. It's exactly what David Icke has been saying. And I'm listening to him and I'm like, they are doing this stuff. So if they're doing the stuff that David Icke has been saying they're doing, this is wild and it needs to be exposed. It needs to be exposed and that's it. Because what he explained, it put pieces of the puzzle together on what's going on. Okay? Now if they're all in on it, right? Trying to send us off on a wild goose chase, I don't know. Because like I said, I just barely found out about this guy. I don't understand everything what he's saying, but from what I can understand, it's starting to put pieces of the puzzle together. I told you, I think this whole thing is fake, right? Everything is fake. They're talking about everything under the sun, saying, giving you little hints. Oh yeah, yeah, we agree with that. We agree with you there. But they never mention David Icke's name. They never mention his name. They never want to see him in court. Because if he does show up in court, everybody across the United States is going to know about the extraterrestrials. Because, like I told you, I think he's one himself, and he's not afraid to go in there to court and go toe to toe with these people. That's why they're shaking in their shoes. Because it's that close. And so there's another channel that is suspect, and this channel is called Laugh Now, Cry Later. And you listen to this channel and it's coming unhinged. Okay? If it's true, if this is just a normal person, this what's going on right now is nearly off the chain. It's coming unhinged. And so check out that channel and see what you think about it. It's called Laugh Now, Cry Later. And so everything's brand new. I'm not I'm not subscribed to the channel. You know, it's been popping up on my live feeds. So that's why I'm like, it's suspect just even to begin with. Who's throwing these things up there? And but practice what you preach. Right? It might be something that we do not perceive. Just because we don't perceive it doesn't mean it's not there. And what happened to my glasses? Oh, right here. So that's the only two things that I could see. Did I bring my okay. Is there any homeless people listening? Are any homeless people in here listening? All we need is one or two, three homeless people, and that could really shake things up. I would go over and talk to the homeless people, but this car has limited range. So, I can't do that. And financially, just um, in a rut, and so you know everything happens for a reason, I guess. But you know, I'd like to be able to go over there and talk to the homeless people that I know that I used to hang around with. I used to stay in a homeless shelter only a couple days, but still I stayed in the homeless shelter. And so I want to talk about the homeless people because I don't know if this is some kind of trick, but I'm going to comment on it, okay? About the homeless people because the power is on the streets, okay? And so we got one person in here. I don't know why it always does that. Okay, so I'm gonna. I've got two things to talk about. Okay, and I mean, there's probably a lot of other things to talk about, but I didn't write anything down, and I've just kind of like been in a you know just kind of trying to figure out what my next game plan is, and um, so that's why there's only two things that you know there's nothing really going on. I told you I think this war is fake. Okay, and so I've only got two things to talk about. One is the person who I put on my Facebook. I put this video up of this person that was in Fresno, California, just 70 miles away from here. And I think it was either Fresno or Clovis, actually. Clovis, I think it was in Clovis. Clovis is like kind of like a better neighborhood in some spots, or at least it used to be. And they got a lot of police there, so it's relatively a lot more safer than it is in Fresno. And and so what was I talking about that for? Oh yeah, there's this guy from Clovis, basically Fresno. Okay, Fresno, California. That's what people know. They don't know Clovis. and and he was on Facebook because there's these new programs that are coming out and they're showing the people all these things that are going on. Back in the day, they would never tell the public all this stuff that's going on. Never. They would never tell you all these things that are going on out on the highway, that the highway patrol is showing you all these things that go on out on the highway. And now, because Hollywood is pressured, because people want to see real stuff, they want to see real people, real live streams as it occurs. So, because of this pressure, they don't want this fake, phony Hollywood crap. Because of this, Hollywood is a multi billion dollar industry. Not only are they a multi billion dollar industry, but this is how they control society, is through the media. So, in order to keep the viewers' attention, they had to release real stuff. It's a bunch of cows. It's a, you know, those people who drive the 18 wheelers who are hauling cows, they don't have to sleep. They can drive for 24 hours straight if they want to. Can you believe that? Um, that'd be nice if they would let everybody do that. Sleep when you want to. And but they'd rather have you under whips and chains, which is the electronic logging device. And I suppose some people, not all people, but some people in law enforcement, they like it because they can say, ha ha ha, you have to be a slave. Now, not only I'm a slave, because they used to see a truck driver when we were on paper logs, you had your freedom. You could pull up the slack for the government's stupidity and idiocy. So you would come into the weigh stations, right, which is pick and choose. But you'd come into the weigh stations and you'd be having, in the morning, you're having your coffee, you're like excited, right? You're going to see some new places and stuff, and they're sitting here in the office. So they're jealous. They were jealous of the truck drivers. Some of them, not all of them. You have some creeps in there, some really bad people. And and so that's what I'm saying. It would be nice. That's probably why he's hauling cows, because he's not subject to any logbook. Electronic logbook, which is absolute whips and chains of the original slave master. Okay? And and or paper log. They don't have to go by any logs. But anywho, a lot of people don't know that, I guess. But okay, so this person I was telling you, okay, Hollywood, they're forced to release real stuff in order to keep the viewers' attention. This is why these videos are on Facebook now. You can see all these videos. I think it's on Facebook. I don't remember if it's on Facebook or YouTube where I watched it. But it may have been YouTube, but I pasted it up on my Facebook. And I've erased it now. I left it up for 1 month. And um so I might have to go and find this again because I'm kind of like interested in it again. I've been thinking about it today. I've been thinking about it. And the dude's voice, because I slowed the video down, and the dude's voice, it's still in my mind because I could feel where he was coming from. And he got cheated on, right? So Hollywood um has had has to release real stuff. So what did they do? They're going, and through the Freedom of Information, right? The Freedom of Information Act, it's called FOIA. And if you know how to do this, you can make bank. This is what Casey Camera Boy was good at. He also had other attributes that a lot of people do not have, but he had a fast mind, and he's was able to do this kind of stuff. FOIA, it's Freedom of Information Act. So this is what Hollywood did. They went and they got all this footage from the police department, right? And they're putting it out on YouTube or Facebook. So they're showing you everything that's going on with these body cams and from the police and highway patrol and other law enforcement. And so this one that they put out there, it has this guy, and he found out his, I don't know if she was his wife or his girlfriend, was cheating on him. And I'm pretty sure they have a kid. And I guess they had broke up, but he was still going over there and seeing her, doing the wild thing, right? And they got drunk. They got toe up, toe up from the flow up, hitting the mescal. Who knows what else they were doing? But this is a big problem with society. Big, big problem. And I guess they were drinking mezcal or tequila, one or the other. And she got all freaking shit faced and passed out. They were outside in the car. He had a Tesla. And they lived in a nice apartment, one of the better expensive looking apartments. And um and she passed out, shit faced. And so I think subconsciously, sub possibly subconsciously, she wanted him to find out. This is what they get off on, right? I mean, let's face it. And so he gets her phone. She's all shit faced on tequila, passes out. She's probably bored, right? Why do you think they broke up in the first place? And so she passes out. So obviously they weren't, you know, interested in each other's conversation anymore, right? Or why would you pass out? And and so so he finds her phone. What the F? Oh, this thing turns off as a safety thing. So that's pretty cool. So he finds her phone, and and she's like, I think she's like, I'll give it. I'm gonna want to do this to you, and I'll let you do this to me, and that kind of stuff, right? After he leaves, or come over at this time, or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I'm just improvising here. But he found something on her phone, and he went berserk. He went nuts, and so he's all freaking drunk out of his mind and just loses it. Why? This is the big problem. This is the problem here. Everybody thinks the way this person was thinking. Okay? People go over the edge because we are not accepting reality. Who's responsible for making people think this way? Maybe it's religion. Religion is very, very powerful. Maybe it's religion and the media, which is Hollywood, which is Lucifer. Whatever it is giving these people these ideas, of what is right and what is wrong, your moral compass, okay, is a fake. It's fake. Why did it get so freaking quiet in here? That is weird. Why does it do that? Um, so they don't realize that in other cultures, men share their wives. Okay? In some cultures that are right here in your hometown, these cultures of people who are from other countries, they don't have just one wife. They have what's called a harem. They have lots of wives. This is normal in their culture. In Eskimo culture, they will lend their wife to the neighbor to spend the night. What do you think they're doing when they spend the night? They sure as hell ain't playing Monopoly. Okay? And so this is what they have to realize is that you're not going to be able to satisfy. One person is not going to be able to satisfy, I would say 99.9% of the people they are with. You're going to get bored, right? She needs some strange. And so they are under this belief. Here's the belief that I think it is. I think they're under the belief that my girl is different. She does not want to cheat and do sexual promiscuities, right? I think this is what people think. And it's false because they all do. Everybody does. And so this is a problem. People need to realize this, that you have 99% chance that this is going to happen to you. Okay? And you're just going to have to deal with it. Accept it. Don't go off the deep end. Well, this person, he went off the deep end and they showed it. You got you'd have to see it for yourself. And I watched it and I put it up on my Facebook and um I slowed it down because I wanted to hear what he was saying, right? And you can just totally psychoanalyze the whole thing if you slow it down and you can understand what was going through their mind. You can understand what kind of relationship they were in by the words that were exchanged. This is a psychological gold mine. This is like what the First Amendment auditors used to be like until they made them take all this stuff out. And because it was the biggest threat to the internal security of the country, just like they declared the Black Panther Party was the greatest threat to the security of the internal security of the country, the status quo, I guess. And I might not be saying it exactly the way it is, but they were considered the biggest threat to the United States of these racist leaders. Lucifer and the fallen angels, right? Some people think they're Lucifer and the fallen angels, but it was, the FBI, the secret intelligence agencies, John Edgar Hoover, and the Richard Nixon, and all those dudes, right? They were going. They were. It's on the video, the documentary called "The Weather Underground," if you want to see what was going on. And and so um yeah, people need to realize that if you're with someone, there is this desire to be with some strange. Okay? 99% of the time, it's going to happen. Okay? It's just 50% of the people can't handle it, and they will divorce or worse. Okay? And so this is what needs to be exposed. This belief that there's some type of angel out there and you have her. Okay? This is false. And so I'll try and find that video for you because it's a crying shame. That dude had everything going for him. Had everything going for him. And because of this mindset, he freaking went over the edge. That is a crying shame. Okay? And so I'll look for the video. I don't know if I'll find it. Okay, next I'm going to talk about the homeless people in Fresno. I know a lot of them because I've stayed in a homeless shelter in Fresno, California. I used to hang around with the homeless people every day. There was a time, a period of my life when I was used to be building these parasite zappers and sending them all around the world. The internet just barely had taken off. YouTube was brand new. YouTube came out, what, 2009, 2008? It was brand new, and I was selling stuff on eBay. Was brand new. eBay was different. They actually had auctions where you can buy stuff for, 5 bucks. You're getting something worth 75 bucks, and the person would have to send it to you because it was an auction. So eBay kind of changed a little bit. But anyhow, so every day I would drive up to Fresno from here. I had a Mazda Miata. I had bought the Mazda Miata on eBay, and I would just drive as convertible, and I'd drive every day. I'd drive to the library, and I would stay there all day with the homeless people because all the homeless people go there. It's the main library. Everything's changed now. They systematically built stuff around it to drive them out of there. And that's a crying shame because it was awesome before. Now you can't even go there because they have these parking meters, and it's all jacked up. They completely wiped that place out. It's different of night and day. But anyhow, I'd spend the day there all day long with them. And one girl even had a baby, right? She went from her whole 9 month thing, and she actually had a baby and came back in there and brought her baby with her. That's how much time we all spent together in there, right? You can hear people's conversations in the next, you know, book thing. They had little things where everybody stayed that have certain tables, and this is where I learned all about this um, Black Panther Party and social and economic justice and um, different parts of the world. I learned about different parts of what was going on with the people in different parts of the world. Boom Facio and Australia and all the Middle East, South America. This is where I learned about, what was going on with the oil. I found out that they were buying barrels of oil for 50 cents. I think they used to get a barrel of oil from Mexico for 50 cents, or South America. And then they all of a sudden changed it and they were getting like, $50 a barrel or something like this. But they were absolutely ripping these people off. And so I started, I learned all about that stuff at the library. And so anyway, so this is for the homeless people. And there are 1,400 and like 1,450 homeless people in Fresno. I think their estimate was 1,467 or something like that. But basically, you have 1,450 people in Fresno who are homeless. And so I'm going to need my calculator for this. So this is for the homeless people. I want you to know what's going on and how you are being freaking financially um, financially ripped off. Okay, so let me pull up my calculator. I still got some people in here. Okay, let me pull up my calculator. Okay, so um, last year, I'm pretty sure it was last year. You people know that they converted the motel that's right there on Parkway Drive. This is where they have all the nightlife, all the action, all the street people, the homeless people, and the people in Fresno partying from all different walks of life. And you have all the street people, and they're getting it on, party all night long. It's like a little Las Vegas, I guess you'd call it. And they took these motels and they converted them. Now they look like a freaking junkyard. Okay, but this is what happened. About ago, a year or 2 years ago, the federal government gave California a whole bunch of money to help the homeless people. And Fresno got almost $1 billion. Do you know how much $1 billion is? Okay. It was actually $750 million for the homeless people. Okay. Divide $750 million by 1,450 homeless people. That's enough to buy them each a brand new, not a brand new, that's enough to buy them each a house. That's $750,000 a piece. It's either $350,000 or $750,000 a piece. Okay? So that was 750. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? 750,000 divided by 1,450 homeless people equals. Why is it doing that? Let me do this again. Okay. 750. 1, 2, 3. That's 750,000. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 750 million. Divide by 1,450 people. Okay? That's $500,000 each. That could have bought them not a brand new house. It could have bought them a new house. It could have bought them a house, and they would have 200, $300,000 left to live on for years. Okay? But what happened? Nothing happened. The motels look like a freaking junkyard. They're boarded up. Nobody's living in them. So what happened to the money? They stole it all. So now you go to Fresno and everybody's still homeless. What happened to the $750 million? Nobody's talking about it. So now 2 years later, 2 or 3 years later, I haven't checked exactly, California or Fresno is getting $10 million to help the homeless. What do you think is going to happen to 10 million? You saw what happened to 750 million. That's almost $1 billion. You saw what happened with that. Nothing. They housed them in a motel for a little while, and then that was it. They're all back out on the street. That was a freaking hustle. And so now what do you think is going to happen with 10 million? If 750 million didn't help them, what do you think $10 million is going to do? If they were to give that 10 million, which is basically what? 50 times less than that $1 billion they had? Okay, if you took 10 million right now, 10, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. $10 million divided by 1,450 homeless people. That's $6,500 each. You know damn straight they ain't gonna get the money. The same people who ripped it off the first time are freaking sitting here salivating like a bunch of freaking wolves waiting for this money to get there so they can freaking steal it. Right? Then you have these people going over there to the council meetings, filming them like if they're First Amendment auditors. It's all a freaking script. As above, so below. The same freaking hustle, the same freaking scam that they're doing on the highest levels of government, they're doing the same scam down here on the streets. They got these people in there acting all using bad cuss words and I did a freaking clown show. They're in on it too. They're all doing drugs, sex, drugs, hitting the pipe, thousands of pounds of freaking Spanish fly, aka, hitting the pipe. Look how many pipe stores there are in Fresno. And it's an epidemic. They bring the drugs into the communities to F the people over. Then they freaking arrest them. And they milk the system. They bring all their brothers and cousins and nieces and nephews they grandfather them into these prison systems and jails. They give them drugs, then they go out and arrest them and put them in jail. so they can have a job. It's a big freaking scam. They're all in on it. That's why they don't want us, the public, to go in to their phony ass freaking courts with a live stream. They don't want to show you that it's a big freaking scam that's going on in there. They do whatever they want to in there. These violent people who do violent stuff against just regular people, people who are out there beating up people, mugging them, stealing from them, yes, they need to be dealt with. But if somebody goes out and takes somebody's life, you're going to sit there and freaking milk the system for 30 years before you finally get rid of him? You wait till he's 70 years old before you finally do the death thing on him? They should be taken out immediately once they've been found guilty in front of a 6-panel jury where we, the people, can videotape the whole proceedings, then take them out in front of a freaking firing squad like they do in South Carolina. And that's the end of it. Stop milking the systems, you bunch of freaking bozos. It's a freaking scam. Okay, so I just wanted to bring that information to you. And thanks for tuning in. Thank you for liking the video. Let's see who's in here in the comments. Savannah. My heart is in Savannah. Oh. Okay, thank you people for leaving the comments. I think that's all. Oh, there's more. Oh, whoops. Let's see who else is in here. Tracy. I've seen Tracy in here before. Okay, thanks everyone. Thank you for the emojis and all that stuff. Cool. Yeah, any homeless people out here, talk to you later. Signing out from Avenel, California.